Muscle Up podcast show. I'm your host, Richard Tutungi, and today's episode, I wanted to understand a little bit more around women's health and fitness. So I thought I want to get back Jen Dugard, who's been on this show before, but she's been one of the most popular episodes as well. That's the reason why I got her back. And I wanted to talk specifically about what's happening in this space, because a lot of changes in the space, and there's a lot of things that Jen does every single day to move that space forward. She's on a mission. She's on a mission in the Mumsafe community. She's the creator of Safe Return to Exercise, and she's got over 19 years of industry experience. And over the time that I've known Jen for, she pushes heavily on advocacy work. She pushes heavily on making sure that mums have a great, safe, effective workout in any facility, both in Australia and internationally. She's the author of How to Love Your Body as Much as Your Baby. Love the title, by the way. And Jen has even been on a board. She's a board member of AusActive for the last 6 years. And somebody told me that there's re-elections going on. So I want to talk to her about that. Welcome to the show, Jen.
Thanks, Richard. Exciting to be back.
It is great to be back. Love having you on the show because we could talk, having a great conversation offline. I thought let's just bring it online because we've caught up a few times over the last I think Joey recently went to your event that you just held. It was a very successful event in Mount Tamborine in Gold Coast. How was that event, just roughly? You had a lot of women there and there was a lot of powerful speakers there.
Yeah, it was a really good event. It's always, when you run a membership, I guess, Mumsafe is a membership and people connect online when you can actually bring them into the same space. I think that's where the real kind of connection and magic happens. So it's always a big event on our calendar. A lot of them take days either side to be there and rearrange mum life. And we have a few non-mums and a couple of guys there too. But yeah, it's always awesome to really think about what everyone needs, bring in amazing speakers like, as you mentioned, Joey, and yeah, bring everyone together and see what magic we can create. But it's always super exciting and a little bit exhausting.
It's like that event. It's like you're excited, and then just before you go, what am I doing this for? And then after the event, you say, oh, this is great.
It's amazing. Let's do it again.
Yes. It's sort of like having a baby, isn't it, Jen?
I knew you were going to say that.
What happens?
That was like straight in my. I don't know, Richard. I remember before giving birth to my second child, saying to my husband, I will never do this again, and I didn't. So I don't know.
There you go. Stay strong to your word.
Yeah.
Well, Mumsafe. I mean, for those who don't know, I'm going to sort of just get the URL straight away. It's mumsafemovement.com. You can check it out. And you've had basically a community around Mumsafe forever long that I remember my first time I've ever met you was at Centennial Park. Mm-hmm. And I think our team or company had to go out and get you filming done for AusActive. And it's interesting. Here we are both 19 years later, I saw on your resume there, and probably around the same for me. And you're pounding a concept that you believe that mums need to be safe when they exercise, and you also believe that there is just not enough trainers out there that actually have these qualifications that you've been teaching and that you've been doing over the last however long in this industry, and certifications around being a Mumsafe trainer. Why do you think, Jen, that it is so vitally important for trainers to have a certification like this?
Oh my gosh, there's so many layers to that, Richard, and you're right. Like we met when I was in Centennial Park, running around in the park with mums with my first brand, which was Body Beyond Baby. And I think, even just the AusActive link way back then, I was heavily invested in believing in the goodness, the potential of AusActive, which we can talk about later. But, when it comes to women and specifically mums, when she doesn't understand her body, or if it's, she's had a baby, she's gone through motherhood, or she's entered motherhood, and she can feel completely disconnected to her body, which doesn't feel good, which can impact her relationship, which can impact the quality of her connection with her child, which can impact her mental health, which can impact her ability to move back into the workforce if and when she wants to, depending on whether she has a choice. And I think that on a fundamental level, no industry doing this well. No industry from the healthcare industry, maybe different allied health. Our pelvic health physios are very focused on making sure mums move safely and effectively and understand their bodies from the inside out. But on a level, from the second that she becomes pregnant to giving birth to going back to her sleep checkup, she's never given any specific guidance on understanding her body. And if we think about the requirement to understand your body prior to having a baby, that would be really helpful. Like if you've got a pelvic floor that's too tight and it's going to struggle to push a baby out, why didn't we educate her in that in pregnancy? And then we move into postpartum where she goes for a 6-week checkup, comes out the other side. No one gives her any return to exercise or physical movement guidance. And then she hits the fitness industry. And I believe that if our medical industry are not, and all respect to our medical industry, they do fantastic jobs in their lane. And I'll say that because sometimes I think that they potentially find it hard to look outside of their lane and create those collaborations. But we as a fitness industry have this massive opportunity to be game changers when it comes to mums understanding their bodies. We have with so many women on a daily basis. And when we don't do that, we have a problem. So what if she has a slight prolapse and then we give her the wrong exercise and then down the track she's battling that for the rest of her life and fast forward into perimenopause, menopause.
Yeah. But well, I love conversation. But the problem that I see is that everybody, like, when a trainer becomes a personal trainer, and it's the same conversations that we had when we're employing trainers, is that, hey, they don't have that time in the industry. They've just got this qualification at the time in the industry. Are you sort of saying that, and I know that you're heavily invested in this, what we're talking about here, Mumsafe, but what about everything else? I mean, do we need more education as a whole in the fitness and wellness industry? Because, mums is one sector of the marketplace. And then we have, which with older adults, maybe we're training with infants and vice versa. Are undertrained in general as health and fitness professionals? Because it is a very important sector, don't get me wrong. But
yeah, it's funny when I'm listening to this, my brain's bouncing around in so many places because what I heard you say was, this is only one sector. But if we do the math, mums are 77% of our female population. Yes, statistics tell us that over the age of 15, 77% of women will become mums. So yes, it's a sector, and further research tells us that there's more, 1 million more women using our gyms and fitness facilities than there are men, and then 77% of those women are going to be mothers. So it's not the small sector that it's not really a special population. It's a special population because we need to know more, but it's a mass special population. I do think, though, in response to the question about do we not have enough education, I think that we're not particularly well at the moment in the fitness industry fostering a culture of ongoing education. And, I don't know that across the board because there's some exercise professionals that are heavily invested and they know that the right thing to do. And, as they move through their career as an exercise professional, they know that they need to continue that education because the education that they learned on year one, they either have the option of just repeating that year over and over again for the next 10 years or learning something new. So I think that in that initial certificate 3 and 4 stage, we have this big opportunity to introduce other avenues for learning. So whether it's, we do talk about some older adults, we talk about younger adults. These are the different pathways that you could take now that you've got your Cert 3 and Cert 4. And I do think that women and mums need to be a fundamental education piece at that point where really we're just teaching trainers what they don't know if they want to go down the road. And then they get to choose if they do it or not. But at least we're not leaving exercise professionals ignorant and not knowing what they don't know.
Yeah, great call. I mean, like, listen, I passion, Jen. I mean, at the end of the day, you have to stand up for what you know is right. I mean, I work on a cruise liner 20 years ago. I got off and I read a book about kids' obesity and kids' health because I was frustrated with what was out there and the lack of people thinking, hey, it's just the way it is. And it all starts. I mean, you're right. A huge population of females, and they are definitely, and I got a lot of flack when I wrote my book around, mum. Mum, it's about your responsibility to keep your childhood fit. And I got flack say, well, it's about dads too, but it is figure that as that family needs to be connected. And obviously then if a mum is going back to exercise, she needs to make sure that she's doing it in the right way. But I am the passion because at the end of the day, we are out there. I mean, when I say we're out there, we're teaching marketing essentially. And with marketing, it's like, it's the easiest thing. Well, let's go for the over 40s. Let's go for mums. And I know you love the marketing side of the industry when they say, let's bounce our baby body back.
Love that, Richard.
So it is a problem, isn't it? We all want in clients and we're using these tactics to get mums in, but
Yeah.
essentially they need to be trained better and
Well,
have the certifications to
well,
prove
this is
this.
where the integrity piece comes in, right? Because in order to get someone to walk into your gym or fitness facility, you have to create an element of trust, which is exactly
Yes.
what you do. But then what happens when she walks through the doors? Does she actually get met with the appropriate level of training and education and being looked after that you
Yeah.
promised before she walked through the door? Because I know that a lot of trainers, and there was a great example of this week, are marketing to mums, and
Mm,
well, number one, they don't understand that mums are postnatal, and number two, they don't have the right certifications to train her. And then there's this whole host of things that can happen. She walks through the doors of the gym, you don't do a proper pre-screening, you don't know how to train her, she's had a baby, she thinks that when she thinks she's drawing a pelvic floor up, she's pushing it out, she's already got leaking or heaviness. You don't
mm,
ask her any questions about that, and then you put her into a generic exercise class because you don't have any qualifications. Like, that
mm.
woman is eventually going to leave your facility, which, number one, your marketing spend's gone out the window because you've not managed to retain her. And number two, if you did retain her, I guarantee that the return on investment on the certification that you paid for is going to be a bigger percentage than any marketing that you could potentially do. And you're just doing the wrong thing by her.
Now, Jen, you're 100%. And that's the thing I love about it. It's when we get our certifications, we've got to figure out who we're getting them from. Now, you've been in this space for a very long time. As I mentioned, you're on the board of AusActive, which we'll get to in a second. But my big one is this, and maybe it's an obvious one, but I've seen what you do. I've been involved in through speaking to your tribe and just watching the sidelines here. And fundamentally, everybody that's training a female, a mum per se, shouldn't this be a certificate that everybody standardized gets? What's the hold up of why everybody's not going through and getting this on a certificate?
Yeah, this is an interesting one, Richard, because I've got my brain that completely agrees with what you're saying, in
Yes.
that every single trainer that is going to train a woman should, and I hate the word should have a pre and postnatal certification, because you are going to train a mum at some point in your life cycle. And then I zoom out, and this is where maybe I put my Oz Active hat on, and the reality that not enough of our general population are moving at all, whether it's safely and effectively or the right
Mhm.
way or not the
Mhm.
right way. And I've had to learn a lot of this sitting on the board and kind of going, what am I truly invested in, and what is for the greater good of our industry, even if it doesn't completely align with what I believe. So I'll always push what I believe.
Mm.
And I mean, there's two sides to it. Number one, yes, everyone that's going to train a mum should have a certificate. Number two, could we mandate that? Not really, because what we don't want to do is also turn people away from moving their body. And
Mm.
it's such a nuanced and such a gray area that
Yeah.
has me in complete conflict all the time
Yeah.
around what I believe to be the right thing and what is for the greater good of, if we take it into a whole population, then is it better than a trainer? And I'll say it out loud, like, isn't it better that she's moving in any way than not
Right.
moving because someone's not qualified to allow her to move? And
Hmm.
I say that, and I can know that people are going to be like, why are you saying this? And I very align with what this. Yes, every single trainer working with a mum should hold a certificate, but not to the detriment of as many women moving as possible.
Yeah. Yeah. Great. Yeah. There's never a right way, but I mean, I think from what I do know, and I put my marketing hat on here for a second, is that I love a good logo and I love a good brand and I love a good recognition. And I look at a marketing angle and go, wouldn't it be easier then for those who want to get more clients, being mums, being females, 77 of the population, what you're saying, wouldn't it be easier to say, hey, do the qualification, do the certification to then grow your business? Wouldn't that would also make
Well,
more sense too?
absolutely. And that we the is aligned, because if we're marketing to mums, in the AusActive guidelines, it does actually say if you are marketing to mums, you should hold a pre and postnatal certification. You
Mm,
can't, if you're just running a general fitness class and mums are attending, different. But if you are specifically marketing, then you should have that certification. And yes, like, it's a lot easier to market yourself when you've got a stamp of approval, right?
yeah,
People can openly see that you know how to look after them.
totally. Well, yeah, you've sold me. It's just like I love that anybody who's a trainer should have a video. They should have their own brand. They shouldn't be
Yeah.
just on Meta. It's one of those things that I think it's important to serve mission. just randomly, why is it important for you, Jen? Like, there's a lot of business owners out there, mum business owners, dad business owner, anybody business owners, but they wake up every day as an entrepreneur, and we wake up, and I read a quote this morning, geez, it was good. And it was just like uncertainty. I read it out to you, it was something like, there's a lot of uncertainty out there in life. To an entrepreneur, that doesn't matter. We've always had uncertainty. And I think as a business owner and entrepreneur, there's always uncertainty every single day. But mission is mission. I guess my question, have you found in your 19 years that your mission has helped you with the uncertain times?
Absolutely. I don't know how it can't. Like, your mission is, I want to say it's what gets you out of bed, but I heard it. I was listening to a podcast this morning. It was that if you're aligned with your mission and you'll never work a day in your life. And I was feeling that as I was running, and it's like, I don't get up and go, oh, I have to work. I mean, I do say that sometimes I have to work, but I love what I do, so that it's never a drag unless it's hard. And then when it's hard, you've got your mission, and that's what gets you through the hard times. So I can't imagine not having a mission. And I think the key thing to have longevity and to keep moving towards your mission is to be open to the way that you achieve your mission changing over the years. So if I go back to 2008, when I launched Body Beyond Baby, I couldn't articulate my mission there, but it was to make sure all mums had access to safe and effective exercise, or mums of the eastern suburbs would have access to safe and effective exercise. And then it grew from there to the certification, and then to Mumsafe. And then, when we're thinking about government change and Medicare and all this kind of thing, the mission, it stays the same. And I think that, I don't know how you do this without a mission, Richard, because I may as well get a job, right? Like, it is, there are times, like, I don't find it hard, but there are definitely hard times. And sometimes you could go, if you're not mission driven, I could just get a job where I show up, I get holiday pay, I get sick pay. I'm working. Yeah. I mean, don't do what we do if you're not on a mission, really.
Yeah, love it. Love it is important. Well, listen, I want to talk about, I was like, before we do, my mission on this podcast is, why don't we just give it a plug? Because I actually think, in all fairness, that everybody should be on this. Even from my mission to be better, to make sure that people are buying the right, they're going into the right product, and they're going into the right trainer. And I 100% think everybody should have, like, I call it a badge. Jen, I know you call it a certificate, but the badge equals the certificate. It equals doing the work. But at the end of the day, you get a badge. You can put that out there in the marketplace and say, we are the best and the only person that can do the training. And to me, it's a no-brainer when it comes to growing. Like, it's when it comes to growing business. And I don't know how much it costs, Jen, but whatever it is, it's cheap, because it means that you can grow your business. So quickly, just on this, mumsafemovement.com, where do they go to get certified?
So there's two types of certification. Certification number one is safe return to exercise. So if you're a trainer or an instructor, yoga teacher, Pilates teacher, and you don't hold a pre and postnatal certification, safe return to the exercise is the first badge that you need to get, and make sure it's on all of your marketing.
Badge, yeah, love that.
Badge, I love it. So safe return
badge.
Get the badge. The second badge is the Mumsafe Trainer badge. And this represents trainers in the marketplace that are the gold standard when it comes to working with pre and postnatal women. It means that not only do they hold at least one credible pre and postnatal certification, but they also partner with a pelvic health physio, which is incredibly important when you're working with mums. It means that they are either AusActive or someone else registered, because we believe in the greater good of the industry, and making sure we hold those registrations is important. It also means that they hold the correct insurance for the things that they're delivering in the marketplace, and also that they're committed to their ongoing education in the space of working with women and mums, which is one of the things that we provide inside Mumsafe. So, we have level Mumsafe trainers, and then level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. Those level 4 trainers that you see out there are trainers that have spent the last 4 years minimum improving or increasing their ongoing education through certified education that they've gained through being a Mumsafe trainer. So we don't stop at a pre and postnatal certification. We go, how do help our trainers to continue to learn throughout their whole life cycle. So we've got so many topics in there, whether it's menopause, perimenopause, prolapse, hysterectomies, nutrition subjects. That is what the Mumsafe badge means. And every trainer who wants to be the gold standard or the go-to trainer for mums in their area should be carrying a Mumsafe badge. And I said the word should again, so I'm very aware of that.
Right, and you've got thousands of trainers on your directory on your mumsafemovement.com. Get yourself a badge, team, and display it proudly on your social media. I think that's awesome. And congratulations for your mission, Jen. I think mission is so important. I think that's one thing that stands out with you is is pushing for the things that you believe in, which I think is awesome. One of the things I wanted to adjust a little bit is OzApp. OzApp, for those who don't know, old Fitness Australia. I remember Fitness Australia years and years ago. We were next door to them in their office, which very close by, and I think there's been quite a few CEOs over that time, since 19 years or however long you've been involved, Jen. And we were both in Canberra recently, listening to a whole bunch of politicians talking about how they want more Medicare money. They want to get, more budget for this. They want to take the budget up to things like 5%. At the moment, it's 1.5% for preventive health, which has proven that it's going to, lower healthcare and so forth. But essentially, you've been, on the board for the last 6 years, I believe, and you've been pushing this mission, had a lot of changes. Tell me a little bit about that, because I think at the moment you're up for a re-election. Is that correct?
I am. You can only do 3 terms, so 3 years.
So it's
And
like a president kind of thing, Jen, is it? Like a
I don't know
prime
how,
minister thing, is it?
maybe
2 terms, something like that. So you're being
for a certain amount of time.
right.
And it's interesting, Richard. Like I mean, as soon as they changed the constitution 6 years ago to allow or invite individual members onto the board, so that we had that representative of our personal trainers, Pilates instructors, individual members. And I'd been such an advocate of Fitness Australia, despite all of its, I don't know what impressions in the marketplace. And there was a lot of things that it wasn't doing particularly well back then. But I always, and back to mission, always believed that if we were going to change our industry for the better, we had to be aligned with the body that was leading that mission, whether they were doing it well or not back then.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah.
All aboard too.
Yeah. So
Great.
I think I've been a member since I started my PT journey in 2005 or 2006, and then entered all the awards and did all that kind of stuff. And obviously that's how we met. But we're coming up for elections in September, October.
Yep.
And I really sit down and consider whether it was a role that I wanted to continue to do.
Yep.
It is a voluntary role. It's not something that I take lightly. If I'm going to do something alongside what I'm doing, number one, is my time? Number two, can I invest my whole self into it? Which I have decided that I want to still do that. And I think it's the benefit that I have now of the last 6 years is I'm starting to see all of the things that people have been saying for a long time. Oh, nothing's changing. What's happening? We've just revamped the CEC to CPDs. We've got a new CEO coming in. We've got a new chair of the board. There's, you can now become an OzActive member without any CECs. So we're adapting to the marketplace, and there's a whole conversation around that.
Yep.
Always being in every single board meeting, being that person in the room that's saying, yeah, but what is the value proposition for our exercise professionals, and how are we going to communicate to our exercise professionals? So what is the point of going to Canberra for an exercise professional? So I don't know if I even answered the question. I talked about it.
Well, it's pretty simple, right? I think at the end of the day is that you haven't your work there yet, and
I don't think
there's
so.
still more to do. And it's interesting, and I see that too, and I go, wow, it has gone a huge way, and it's just only starting, right? We think we've been doing it for so long, but it's just only starting. It's at the tip of things, right? Which is really exciting. So they allow you to be going there longer, Jen. You have to get reapplied. Do you? How does it work, Jen?
Re-elected, so it's like it's a popularity contest.
So you're running Facebook ads or Meta ads or something like that to get yourself out there, or what?
I don't know if I'll go that far. I'll definitely, put my case. Obviously, I've got to apply to be re-elected first. So I have to go through the same application process that everyone else does.
Yeah.
And put out into the world, why it is that I want to re-elected. And part of that is, we are moving closer and closer to a public health campaign. So we've got Million Moves happening at the moment. We've got funding from the Queensland government, WA government, also from Wollongong and Ballarat. And this is, if there's an exercise professional out there going, what on earth is Million Moves? This is like the audition for the public campaign. If we can prove that we as an industry can get more people moving safely and effectively is part of their tagline, and contribute towards the preventative side of people's health and well-being, then we start to move closer towards that public health campaign that tries to get Australia moving more often. And then we know that if I think it's 50% of people that if they start moving, they actually then go seek out a gym or a personal trainer or something like that. So
Yeah.
when we're kind of going, how does this affect me? Well, on a base level, as a personal trainer or a group fitness instructor, if more people are moving, more people are looking for your services. And it's very, very simple at the end of the day.
Yeah, no, I love it. It makes total sense. It doesn't, it's always got to come together as an industry to increase the flow of walk-ins, trials, sign-ups, whatever sector,
Absolutely.
micro sector that you're in with the industry. So that's great. All right. So do you have t-shirts that we can wear, Jen, for the next month? Like,
Go,
vote for
Jen. I
Jen.
should
Yeah.
get some, shouldn't
Yeah.
I?
Can you send me some? I'll wear it on the next podcast and I'll wear it around. Okay.
We actually, Richard, got one of the things that one of the MPs said when we were in Canberra was to invite your local MP to your training so that they can see what your local community, and anyone listening can do this, write a letter to your local MP, show them what you're doing out in the community in order to help to get people moving more often. And we actually got a lot of our Mumsafe trainers to do that and we've had a number of them that have had visits from their local MP, and then now we're moving into the conversation of, well, what do we want to do with this visit? We want to get more Australians moving. Mumsafe trainers want to get more mums moving, and what are some of the changes that we want to happen? So we've started lobbying for things like, you get the active, there's the that kids get if they,
Yes. Yes.
yes, what
$100 or
if,
something. Is that right?
yeah, it's and you get it from the age of 5. Well, what if mums who are that center of their family could
Yes.
get access to that voucher in order to do something for themselves when their child's under 5 or even under 2? Like, it doesn't really matter where we start, but if we can help her to remove barriers, people are on maternity leave, they're not getting paid as much, but if we can lobby the government in order to help get mums moving, then we're contributing towards helping to get Australia moving. And I know AusActive are also lobbying for active vouchers, potentially means tested. But yeah, there's so much we can do, and it's so exciting, and it's so cool to be part of the developments that are happening through AusActive. I think one of the important things to point out here is when we moved from, we've always had this CEC, you have to have CECs to be part of AusActive, and we put consultation out to the industry when we were thinking about not having CECs. And the way that this plays out in a situation is we have conversations, we've got all the information from the surveys, and some people were very on board with, well, if we get trainers to register without CECs or CPDs as they are now, the natural flow on, or the encouragement then, is to get them to then invest in their ongoing education, do CPDs, become accredited. When things like Medicare rebates roll out or our health fund rebates rolled out, it's the accredited trainers that will be able to that. But there was a whole boardroom situation, and the question for us as board members was, on a scale of 1 to 10, and we had to physically get up and move in the room, where do you sit on being convinced that this is the right thing to do? And you've got commercial operators in the room that, for them, their problem is staffing. They want to get more staff. If we remove barriers to entry in terms of education to have people registered with what's active, it's a no-brainer. Like, let's get rid of that. But for someone like myself, and I know a lot of the industry that I align with are highly invested in their education, and they are members for that reason, because they're going to go and do those CCs or CPDs every year. So we got this whole room, and I think there was most people at one end of the table, and then there was me and maybe 1 or 2 other people sat at the other end of the table. So, and then we get our voice and we get to share, and we can never have a self-interest. But I think what is important for outsiders listening to know is that I'm always in that room to advocate for the trainer. So when it does come to things like Canberra, or comes to CPDs, or comes to Million Moves, how is this benefiting our individual operators on the ground? And it's a massive honor to be that person. And I think it took me a couple of years to warm up, I think, Richard, like a couple of years of sitting around the board table thinking that I was either saying the wrong thing, or a little bit nervous, or even potentially apologizing for speaking, which is a thing that women generally, or some women, tend to do. And I feel like I'm just getting warmed up. And as much as I don't want to put it out there, because there's part of me that's like, just let happen what happens, I think I'd be a little bit upset if I don't get re-voted. Yeah.
All right. Well, vote for Jen. Just quickly, how do we vote for you, Jen? I mean, what do we do?
So when once things come up, we
Right.
all set our thing, and then every single as active member will get a ballot. So
Right.
if they like what I'm talking about, if they like the work that's being done, if they, want someone that's been on the board for a while and kind of knows part of the process and is not afraid to speak up for the next 3 years, then putting a tick or a one or a cross or whatever it is by my name would be massively.
But what happens if you know everybody on the board? What do you do, Jen? Do you just
Huh?
you split points in that? How does it work? Like,
What do you mean?
can you only vote for one person on the board, Jen, or is it just that one
Yeah,
person?
so you get one vote. I'm pretty sure it's one vote, and it's only individual members. So business members can't vote
Right.
for me.
Okay.
So it's only if you have either a sole trader, a business member, sole trader, individual membership. So it is your personal trainers, group fitness, sole traders.
You're a great ambassador for that. That's for sure, Jen. So good luck with that. I think you'll do well.
Thank you.
Now, Jen, there's a few things floating on there. Now, the other things, like the other thing I wanted to before we go is talk about just how it all works for you, right? And working with mums, the thing that I admire about you, Jen, is your point, and that's down to like your work ethics. I'd love to understand that as a business owner and people who are listening to this. How do you make it all work, Jen? How do you become a mum? How do you do a business? How do you work on Oz Active? How do you do a podcast? I love the insight. Is it good, bad, or ugly, Jen?
I think it depends what day it is. I think I go through seasons, and I like kind of call them sprints. I'm definitely in a sprint at the moment.
Okay.
We had our retreat, then I went down to Melbourne to record a podcast, then I've been delivering a certification to a team in Pakistan, and then I was at Belgravia last week, and then I'm back home and then in Sydney next week for a few events. And I think then after that I'm like, I need to book a holiday to Fiji, but it is school holidays, so then kind of all even out. I lean heavily on my values. So my two values are courage and connection. And so the courage to do things that make me uncomfortable, but also the courage to say no to things if I'm at a connection with my family and things like that. So, is it good, bad, ugly? I don't know. It's lots of tears some days. It's lots of excitement other days. It's making sure that I get up and train in the morning. It's making sure that I go to sleep ideally at 9:30, so I can get up at 5:15 and exercise. It looks like not knowing what we're going to have for dinner every night because I don't love cooking, and it's like 5 o'clock. What are we eating tonight? So I never know that part. I could have a wife, that would be good. Ben is a very good cook, so when he's home, he cooks, but he's often out. Then it's a lot of deadlines. I set deadlines and I meet deadlines.
Love it.
Yeah.
Great. I think that's the right thing. I like seasons as well, and I think seasons are really important. Doesn't matter what you're in, knowing that it's not going to be like that for everything, and knowing that most things will solve themselves out if you're, wake up every day with the right intent to do that, which is great.
I think with the season thing is the piece comes when the season doesn't end and it just feels like shit continuously. And then it's a really good time to check it. Like, are we yelling at the kids? Are we constantly crying? Are we constantly stressed? Is there more anxiety? Are we forgetting things, dropping balls? Because then it's not a season. That's just the shit fight that you've put yourself into. And the cool thing about running your own business is you can change it whenever you like. So then having the courage to go, I don't want to do this. I get to say no. I get to change things.
You can change it whenever you like. That is my takeaway from this entire podcast. You can change it whenever you like. Well, Jen, this has been an outstanding conversation. Always enjoyable to talk to you. I think, my 2 cents on this is I do believe that it's really important to have a mission. I think that's solid what I got out of this today. And I think you're the right person to drive ahead with Oz Active. And for goodness sake, everybody, just get the badges and Mumsafe and get your marketing out there. That's my 2 cents. Like, real marketing, like that is a great marketing piece. And I know your certifications are amazing and what you do is amazing. So get onto it. Guys, this is another great episode of the Marketing Muscle Up podcast show with my amazing guest. I was going to say host, Jen Dugard. It's been a pleasure. Jen, thanks for your time.
Thanks for having me. Have a great day. See ya.
Thank you, guys. If you love this episode, you can you can watch this on YouTube, or you can choose your favorite platform. I like Spotify. That's my personal favorite, but I was an Apple iTunes. Jen, are you on Apple iTunes too? You like the Apple iTunes?
I'm Apple for podcasts and Spotify for music, which is weird. Like,
I used to be that, but then I just went all in on Spotify. What's the difference?
How do I do that? Yeah.
I know it's just a habit thing. Try it out. It's going to give you a whirl. It's great. Yeah. But anyway, either app, a platform you're on, you'll find us everywhere, and you can listen to any past episodes. We've got 200 episodes you can listen to, and I think this is the great thing about online team, listen, absorb, and get plugged into the person that you want to move towards that directs you to your mission. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next time on the Marketing Muscle Up podcast show. Bye.